is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Welcome back to another episode of Walk With It. We're talking about love, and we're going through a real common passage of scripture. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. We're starting at verse 4 because it kind of starts to break down all the elements in what I believe God created love to be or to look like. So last episode, we talked about patience. Well, this time, we're still in verse 4 because there's several of them just in verse 4 alone that we're going to break down. And the difference is we may have a bunch of episodes on this particular passage of scripture because I want to break down each element of love. So again, we talked about patience. This time, we're going to talk about kind. When we look at 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4, it says love is patient and kind. So we're going to stop and talk about kind or kindness. And that seems simple enough. So even if you're looking at an average definition of kindness, it says the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. Easy enough, right? So if we know that to be true, why is it so hard to be kind sometimes? Maybe it's not hard for you. Maybe you really, you're kind to everyone. And now there are people out there like that. However, we're connecting that to the word love. So when we say I love you and we're talking to a spouse or our children or a family member or friends or whoever the case may be, you're using the word love and it's based upon these different elements. Have you ever said I love you and treated somebody unkind? I have. I'm sure you have too. It's one of those things that we take for granted. We say, I love you, and we know what it means, but are we showing what it really means? Are we living it out? Do we look like love? Does our relationships look like love? Again, I'm talking to you all about it, and trust me, this is ministering to me too, as I need help in all of these areas, right? So let's talk about kindness. It seems simple enough. I've been kind before. You've been kind before. Probably been more times where you've been kind than anything else. So simple enough. However, for me, and I'll just kind of throw this out there, I have an issue that I'm still working on that is like, I have this thing about people taking my kindness for weakness. And when you think about that, I asked my wife one time, I was like, so how can you be fearless or strong if people see you as weak? And she said, well, do you think Jesus was weak? And it was like a duh moment, right? Of course not. And if we're supposed to imitate and look like him, then we have to carry on those characteristics. So I should always be walking in kindness. I should always be friendly. I should always be generous. I should always be considerate and courteous. Always. There should never be a point to where that's not in me. There should never be a point of insecurities where I feel like, well, I'm going to show weakness with kindness. They really don't add up. And again, those are my own issues and those are my own things that I'm dealing with. But I'm saying it because if we're showing love, this has to be included. It has to be included. So if I say I love you, that means you automatically know or have seen or have bear witness to me being kind to you, me being generous to you, me being considerate of you, right? If you know something else of me, then you have to question what my love or what my definition of love really is. All of us need to take a look at that because it's something to just continually say I love you and show something completely different. Again, based upon your source. What's the source? What's your definition of love come from? Is it from you? Is it from your experiences? Or is it from God? Walk with it.